You stare at a page, read a sentence, and realize you have no idea what it actually said. So you read it again and again. Your thoughts feel like they are moving through thick syrup. It is easy to internalize this as a personal failure of willpower or a lack of discipline. Most of us just call it tiredness and try to move on. But the human nervous system has physical limits. It evolved in a rhythmic world with natural cues for rest, yet it now operates in a 24-hour environment of constant digital and emotional input. When that input exceeds our internal capacity for too long, the system adapts by shifting into a protective mode. This fog is an active biological shutdown. It is a protective adaptation to conditions the human brain was never designed to handle. Inside the skull, this shutdown has a specific chemical signature. Throughout the day, as your cells burn energy, they leave behind a waste product called adenosine. As this builds up, it latches onto receptors in your brain, slowing down the electrical firing of your neurons. Deep sleep acts as a biological rinse for this debris. During these stages, the glymphatic system flushes cerebrospinal fluid through the brain to wash the accumulated adenosine away. Our modern schedules and constant exposure to blue light disrupt the suprachiasmatic nucleus, the master clock in your brain. This throws off your circadian rhythm and fragments your sleep cycles, often cutting the cleaning process short before it can reach the deepest stages. When sleep is restricted, this chemical waste lingers. It remains in the brain's internal architecture the next morning, muffling the communication between your neurons. That heavy, sluggish morning sensation is the result of physical debris. Your processing speed is being smothered by chemical clutter that was never cleared away. Even in a clean environment, the brain is an incredibly expensive organ to run. It accounts for only 2% of your body weight, yet it consumes 20% of your body's energy, primarily in the form of glucose. This chart shows the physiological cost of high glycemic foods. A rapid release of glucose into the blood causes a sharp spike, which is immediately followed by an insulin surge. That surge drives your energy levels into a steep drop, plunging well below your original baseline. The frontal lobes are uniquely sensitive to these drops. When glucose levels sit in this trough, the brain is starved of its primary fuel, stalling the very systems required for focus and decision-making until your energy levels stabilize. Your afternoon apathy is a direct result of this cellular energy blackout. Your motivation hasn't disappeared. Your brain simply doesn't have the fuel to power your attention span. Beyond fuel, the brain requires constant structural support. The human brain is roughly 75% liquid. Even mild dehydration causes brain tissue to physically shrink. This lack of fluid forces the brain to work significantly harder to complete basic tasks, resulting in a notable drop in cognitive performance and mood. The final blockade is neuro-inflammation. When you face chronic psychological stress, your immune system initiates a defense response, flooding the body with signal proteins called cytokines. These signals trigger sickness behavior. Your immune system misinterprets stress as a physical infection and reroutes your energy away from the brain to fight a perceived war. Your brain intentionally forces you into a sluggish, apathetic state to conserve energy. You feel foggy because your body has prioritized defense over cognitive function. The traditional response to this exhaustion is to push through, to rely on grit and caffeine to ignore the fatigue. But forcing an overstretched nervous system to maintain its output only amplifies the internal strain and deepens the fog. Recovery requires more than just stopping work. It requires active nervous system regulation. Intentional grounding practices allow the body to shift out of defense mode, reset its baseline, and return to a regulated state where clarity is possible. You can stabilize this internal environment with simple structural guardrails: consistent sleep for glymphatic clearance, steady hydration to maintain brain volume, and stable nutrition to prevent crashes. Aligning with the physical limits of your nervous system is the essential foundation for mental health. By fully supporting the brain's biological requirements, you can finally clear the atmosphere and reclaim your true cognitive clarity.